Hi, my name's Christopher and I run the channel called Vanishing Arts. This series I called Follow Me because you're just gonna follow me while drawing, and I hope that I'm just gonna provide you with some really clear and interesting steps and really easy to follow. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. In this first episode, I'd like to kind of explain to you what's the perspective, how we're going to be using it. You may have heard before that perspective is really important when you're drawing buildings, when you're drawing whatever else, because perspective is just the way we see the three-dimensional space. The perspective kind of tells us how things get smaller according to distance. And I always love to start with drawing the horizon line up first. In this case, we're going to start with drawing the simple box. In here I will show you how this box is going to look like. Okay, that's the box. The idea is that it's a square and we're going to place it the way that the corner is going to be kind of like, we're going to see this much, right? That's the angle. So we are here, that's the top view. We'll see more of the right edge and slightly less of the left edge. And of course we will not see what's behind, and we're just going to start to try to represent this on this surface. In order to easily get into the process of drawing this square as a 3D box, we can just start with one vanishing point. Just taking a look at this box, we can clearly see that once we're going to have this side visible more than this side, we can with a huge probability say that this vanishing point, that all of the lines will converge to it, is going to be slightly closer to us than this vanishing point. I'll explain it to you right now. Okay, let's say there's one vanishing point, which is this one, for these lines, and all of the lines parallel to this line. And by drawing, let's say, the guidelines from this vanishing point, what we can do right now, we can determine how close this edge, because there's the edge, like you understand, as this box is three-dimensional, but we just see it from the top. So we draw this edge right now over there. We can decide whether we're going to have it really small and far away, or really close, or even closer. We can kind of make it closer here. Okay. So now is the time for decision. We can draw this edge wherever we want, but later on it's just the first thing that will kind of determine where the box is going to stand. Let's say I think this place is really okay. Let it be here. And then we have to kind of make a decision, because there's no way we're going to be, without any model, absolutely sure that this thing that we're going to draw in here is going to be an absolute square. It can be a rectangle. We cannot make sure it's going to be a square in perspective. So that's why when we design things, when we draw, we just base on our experience. And I can say from my experience that in this angle of perspective, when these lines converge into this vanishing point in that relation, I think that maybe not, maybe here, I would say that this surface is going to be a square. At the same time, it's going to be this side of our square. Okay, so now once we've got the first face, we have to draw the second one. And what's the catch in here? Because you may going to see a lot of videos on YouTube when people place the second vanishing point here, and the reason they do it, of course, it's really easy. because you can clearly see that I could do guidelines, the perspective converging guidelines, without much of a problem. But the thing is, this perspective is unnatural. You cannot see this wide angle, because once again, from a top view, let's say, there's the horizon line really far away, and these are two vanishing points that kind of represent the space, right? And you see this square laying somewhere on a flat surface. Your field of view would have to be this wide to see both vanishing points somewhere on the horizon line. But the human field of view is about this narrow, which means that you can see only one vanishing point, and the other vanishing point is always going to be out of your range. This means that the lines will converge somewhere far away, really far away. They will meet somewhere on the right, really far away. Okay, so once you've got this, we can make our last decision on where to place this edge. And I think here's about right. Okay, I forgot that this guideline is the one we draw into. We can just check for correctness. We're making the guidelines from these points into the vanishing point, and from this corner into another vanishing point. And you can see if these lines, once we look for the intersections, will this edge meet the point that it should meet? Yeah, actually it's my slightly bent line, but I think we're doing good, because you've got the 4 points on the back face and another 4 points on the other back face, which is this one in the back, which I'm not really drawing with a thicker line, is this one, and the other one is this one, right? This is our top view, and this is perspective. Okay, and this is the field of view from top, and that's our angle. Okay, so we've got this box in 3D space. What we can do next, we can also draw the diagonals and divide the face into a half. We can draw diagonals on the other face, divide them, because it's a really great exercise if you want to make sure that the objects you're drawing are correct. And if we make a line from this vanishing point into this cross point, it will divide this face into a half as well. One half and second half. And if we draw from this point into the vanishing point somewhere over there on the right, for this point, we'll have another first and a second half of this face. So that way we divided this face and this face into 4 quarters. Okay, and that's not a perfect example, but you could try to draw the line from this cross point into the vanishing point, and from this cross point into the vanishing point, and these lines, once they meet, they should as well cross with the line that goes from this cross point that we got from making our diagonals on a very top face, as well as this cross point. Yeah, these cross points give us the exact center of this cube, as well as these as connecting this and this cross point with the corresponding vanishing points. They should just intersect in here, giving us another kind of slice. Because what we've done here, this line is just a result of, right? Get the idea of connecting these points. So we kind of slice the whole object with it. Knowing these axes, we can actually draw the infinite amount of the surfaces, the planes, let's say, that will kind of divide this box. It's really easy right now. Because if I'd like to draw, let's say, let's go ahead and a bit further, and 1/4 of this face, make a line like that, and try to cross it and transfer into 1/4 of the other side. It's really easy. Because all you can do, you've got a half. Now you have to divide it once more using diagonals. Make a line right here. Okay. So we've got this edge, and we've got a center of our cube. So there's nothing easier than just make a line from this point into the center, and once this line reaches the back face, we can make a vertical line to just go down to this point. And again, it goes back and it goes here. And you see it's absolutely perfect. We can be proud of ourselves after doing this exercise, because we have successfully proven ourselves right. Everything is good. All this cube is in the right perspective, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can even cut the piece out of it. Let's say we'd like to take let's do something like cut this piece out. Okay? We cut this piece out. How do we do this? We've already got a half. That's this point. We've already got this edge. All we have to do, actually, we've already got this one, this point over here. All we have to do is just to connect the very center of the cube with this point. Center of this cube with this point. We've got this vertical line already in place. We've got this edge over here. Once again, we connect this point with the very center of this cube. We connect this very center of this cube with this point. And look at that. All we need to do to make it more visually clear is to make these lines stand out a bit. And there it is, it's ready. We've got a beautiful cube with 1/4 cut out, and we can actually go ahead and cast shadows, but we're going to come back into shadows later in the future episodes. So not to make it any longer and tedious, as a summary, I think that in this episode you've learned the basics of the vanishing points, how they are placed on the horizon line, how to transfer the two-dimensional cube into the three-dimensional space, and the last thing we've learned how to cut out the piece of an object. Thank you so much for watching. In the future episodes I will try to cover something more and something more interesting. We'll get from the basics, from the essentials, into some more complicated drawing exercises as we progress. That was the first episode of Follow Me by Vanishing Arts. My name's Christopher. If you liked this video, please remember to subscribe to my channel and click the like button, because it helps me like nothing else. And just stay tuned and check out the other episodes of the series. Have a nice day. Happy drawing.